Hi, this is 365801 and this is going to be a really quick video about removing labels from BL Manga and Yaoi and what I do to clean them. I know lots of people have done videos like this before, but I use a kind of oil that maybe other people don't, and I thought I'd just let everyone know that that one's an option too. So let's get on to it. So I have a stack of books here. There are 4 of them and they need to have their labels removed and their surfaces cleaned. So I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to use my nails to just kind of gently and carefully peel to try and get as much off as possible without having any of the residue stuck. That sometimes happens though, especially depending on where you get it. These are from thrift books. There we go. That's one off. There we go. So I'm just going to use some kitchen roll, and I would usually use something like there's a rougher side and a smoother side, so I would start with the rougher side actually. I usually use something like essential oils that have lemon or mint or lavender. So today I'm going to be using some coconut oil. I don't know if it's going to zoom into it. It's just raw and organic extra virgin coconut oil to just clean up the surface, and I just put a little bit on, mix it over so it's not too much, just to try and make sure that I collect all the residue, and also just give the cover a bit of a wipe down as well, and that usually picks up any dirt or grease. Plus it also smells amazing. I love the smell of coconut. And this is actually a really cheap version that I got in, I think it was Lidl or Aldi, so it wasn't an expensive purchase, and you can use it for all things. So instead of going out and getting very expensive essential oils, you could just go to the local supermarket and get some coconut oil as well. So it smells amazing, just like coconut, so like coconut biscuits to be fair. So now it's got a little bit of oil on, I just make sure that I rub it down with a drier section of the cloth, or paper I should say, and it gives it a nice sheen, and it feels nice and clean as well, and no residue on where the label was. Some books will come out like that, some won't. Let's see about this one. So this one I got from Momox. Momox is a seller in Europe, and their labels usually come off really well. Like, look at that. It's a completely different label to the thrift books. It's a very good label. They know people are going to be pulling these off, so they've invested in good labels. So I can barely feel anything, any residue at all. And this is also in excellent condition, so I don't even think it needs to be cleaned. So I'll maybe just use the same piece of paper, put the label in, that I used. Make sure I get a bit, not very much, and just give it a good clean, especially where the label was. But I don't think it really needs it. It's in really good condition. Excellent condition. It's like the spine hasn't even been broken. So whoever's been reading it's been reading it like this. Like hardly moving the spine at all. And the fact that they don't pop open makes me think this is practically brand new. Here we have another one that was also a Momox one, so this shouldn't take too much. Just making sure you get under. So easy. for these labels. Some labels will be much harder. So good. I do like them on both labels. And once again, just a little bit of a rub down. This one's a bit older. You can tell because it's a pink label. And just give it a really good rub. Not anything fancy, but it does bring up the shine a lot more. And the book looks new, and where the label was, you can see from the shine, very little evidence that there was a label there. This last one I think is hilarious because there is a thrift bookstore label here, but there's also half price books and someone bought it for $2. $2? That is amazing. That's a lot more than I spent on it, but I love the fact that someone bought it in clearance at half price books for $2. They got an absolute steal, bargain there. I'm wondering if I can easily take off this label though. So we'll start with hopefully this one. Hopefully there's no issues with the thrift book label, unless the label's there to stop you from noticing any defects. Like there's a slight plasticiness here, which I think that must have been an old label as well. So there might be 3 labels on this one. This might be a wee bit tricky to actually get looking fab. We'll see. It's a little bit of a challenge. Okay, so you can see around the outside, I don't know if you can, where there was the label, there's still stickiness, and there's dirt as well that's accumulated. A bit of dirt here as well. I'm not sure if that'll come off with the coconut oil. So, one label down. Let's see about this thing here. Is this damage to the book, or is this actual sticky label? I think this might be a sticky label. No, I think this is actually surface of the book. So I think I'm going to need to get like a razor to that just to... So it looks like there's been a bit of damage. That's where they put the thrift books label to kind of try and cover that, which is sneaky, because then otherwise they would have had to say damage to the front cover, because that is damage to the front cover. If you look at it from the light, that matte section is where there's been a tear in this plastic, but it's not a huge issue. So let's see if we can get this other label or 2 labels off and see if we can make it look nice. Hopefully there's no damage underneath there as well. This might take a wee while. Oh no. Oh, this is a great label. Oh, how easy was that? So I'm gonna have to be very careful with this one because of this section here. If I shine the light on it, shiny, matte, shiny again. So there's that space where there's no plastic, and here's the little plastic edge. So with that I'd have to take like a scalpel to be able to shave that down so it wasn't sticking out, and if it's sticking out then it's going to catch on things maybe. So I'll have to be careful with this, but actually it's in pretty decent nick considering how old it is. So a little bit of coconut oil on, I'll start on the bottom and work my way up, and be careful around this edge. Here on the surface, flip it round. Now this is where the label was. A little bit of oil. Let's see if we can get this off. A bit elbow grease. Oh, it's coming off. That's great. There's another wee nick there, but not too bad. So the back looks not too bad, in quite good condition. The spine, it's a bit of bashing down at the bottom, but that's not too bad. But it's just this front cover, which from a distance you can barely notice. You can just see it, and it does look like a little bit of sellotape, but it's actually part of some damage to the cover. But you wouldn't know. Sneaky thrift books, but in not bad condition. You can see there's a bit of yellowing, a little bit, but considering the age and the price that I got it for, I'm very happy. Although certainly not $2. So yeah, this is what I use. Maybe you can get a better view of it. And yeah, I think this is from Lidl. 100% raw, organic, extra virgin coconut oil. I think it was like £1, maybe £2, and a massive big jar, which if you were just using it to clean books, would clean all your books in your library. And of course make them smell delicious. So that's how I take labels off and clean. Like I said, essential oils can work as well, but if you can't afford essential oils, because sometimes they can be very expensive, just go for something else. Oil, for some strange reason, cleans off sticky labels and things like that really, really well. So coconut oil is maybe an option for you if you'd like to clean your books. I definitely have a lot of books to clean. So now if I just look, we've got some lovely ones, very nice shiny surfaces, very shiny surfaces. This one that was practically new anyway, really lovely. Look at that shiny surface, makes me feel so good. And this one as well, which is another old one. There's a few dents you can see from how shiny it is now. You can actually see where there are some imperfections, where there's been some damage over the years. But that's a shiny surface and no more labels. So there you have it. That's how I clean some of my books. Very easily, actually. These labels came off really easily. I do have another one. I don't know if it'll be able to be cleaned in the same way. So here we have another book. This you can see, I don't know if you can see, it's not in as good a condition, and it's got the matte surface, which doesn't clean as well in the same way as this shiny surface. There's a distinct difference. And you can see some damage at the bottom, some damage on the edges, and also two big stickers. So these ones might be more tricky to get off. They seem like they're a bit old as well, due to the age, and also the type of label they are means that there's probably some sticky residue. So let's give it a go and see if we can get them off using patience and luck, perhaps. Oh, it does look like it's coming off, and there's no damage. No damage. Oh, there's a little bit. You just hate it when that little bit gets there. Have I got it? So there's still some sticky bits. I can see some sticky residue there, but I'll hopefully be able to clean that off using my coconut. Let's try and get this one too. Oh, this is going to be harder. Okay, so it didn't come off very well, that one. There's still some paper attached, you can see. So let's see how I can do it with the coconut oil. Now just using a little bit, because I know this is not a very sticky one. Let's see, it's coming through, it's fine. So that take off the residue. You can see some damage there, but it's taken the residue off that bottom one, no problems. Let's try this top one that still has some paper attached as well. You can see. You can see that's quite dirty with the, I don't know if you can tell that, but it's quite dirty from this, not just the oil, but what's coming off the stickiness as well from the glue. So that's taken off some of the extra glue. I just need to work more now into the paper section. But you can see the dirt on it as well that's coming off. So that's taken off some of the extra paper. It's not coming through at all. I wonder if I can take some of this off now that it's oiled up. I'm using my thumb just to try and remove the residue of the paper. Certainly working. Very gently though. Gradually coming off. It does take a wee while, and a bit of elbow grease and patience. So you can see how small it is now compared to how it was, but you just got to keep working at it. Turning the book as well can help because you're taking at it from different angles, so it gets used to the way that you're rubbing it, but if you turn it, it has to be rubbed in a different way. So the fibers of the paper or the sticker that used to be on there gets rubbed in a different direction, and that helps to loosen it up. You see it's so much smaller now. There it is. Perfect. So now that I have done that one, that was particularly difficult, I now have all 5 of these books without any stickers on them, so I'm very happy. I was a little bit concerned about The Loudest Whisper. That was a little bit tricky. Those labels look like maybe they should just be left on, and sometimes it's a good idea to just leave some labels that are in place. There does come a point in time when it's stuck to the book. It's been on the book so long, it's stuck to the book with a particular type of glue that means it's going to be very difficult to peel off, and I think this was particularly the case for some Borders books. So if they were sold in Borders, sometimes Borders would put a sticky label with a barcode over the barcode on the book. To avoid using that barcode system, they had their own, I'm assuming. And one of the examples is let's see, this one, Earthian, you can see. This is the original barcode, so that's fine. But if we are to look at one of the other ones, this one here, this is a volume 1, and we can see that there is a label over the barcode. I also have a second copy of volume 1, and this also has a separate barcode. This one particularly looks like it might have been a Borders one just from the ISBN. It's just like I kind of recognize that might be one of those. So these ones I might not remove. If I take an example, I bought the full set, and one of them, volume 4, which is difficult to get hold of, it came like this. So someone had obviously tried to remove this label, and it was already like that. And you can see that this has got a lovely shiny cover, but if you can see where someone tried to take the label off, it has removed some of that shininess. They've managed to get some of it, and they were probably going to try and clean it. So it came with this folded over like this already when I got it. And I'm fine with that because this is a tricky one to get hold of, and I might try one day to try and get this label off, or at least to just slice this down here, but this would be a tricky one to get off. So it would take a lot of perseverance and patience and a lot of cleaning as well to get rid of the residue ink. And you can see how dark it is, this glue, sorry. Very, very dark. So quite tricky to get hold of, and then quite tricky to clean. So this one I might leave in the state that it's in. I might just remove that little extra flap. So yeah, cleaning your books and removing labels can be quite tricky. Other people do remove some yellowing, but I haven't done that yet. I'm still a little bit afraid of it. So that's how I clean my BL Yaoi manga. Now, as I mentioned, I have previously used essential oils, and they do smell lovely, and it does give you that sense of homeopathy as you're cleaning, so it gives you a nice calming, relaxing afternoon if that's how you're spending yours. But that was because I had access to my mother's collection, which is extensive and lovely, and then when I went to go try and purchase some for myself, I realised how expensive they were, and so I have tried to look for a more affordable alternative. I have used olive oil in the past, and I did find that that worked, but it was a little bit thick, and it just smelled of olive oil, so it wasn't terribly enjoyable. Whereas this coconut oil, as I've said, it was less than £2 from Lidl, very affordable from your supermarket coconut oil. And so it does smell absolutely lovely, and it does bring your books up to a nice shine and cleans them very well. So I'd really like to know if anyone knows of anything else that might be useful for cleaning their books, or if you do know somewhere to get a good affordable essential oils. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!